again, YouTube. Buffalo Pyle out here on the porch. It's the evening time, so not as much bright sunshine, and it's been kind of cloudy and rainy today too. But anyway, wanted to come in and get you a Monday video. Apologize for last week. Got so relaxed on my vacation, I didn't get anything done when I got back from vacation, and then got busy last week getting caught up on everything that I'd missed during the vacation, and didn't really get around to doing any videos. So we're going to try to get back on schedule this week. I got a Paracord video for you this morning, and then Thursday I got another little exciting thing I've already got lined up for you. So we're going to get on that too. So anyway, my last Paracord video, when I made the mask holder, I had a person that watches my video that asked me if I could do a little more detail on that Cobra knot that I did for the main part of it. So today, or for Father's Day the other day, my kids got me some of these Paracord bracelet kits from Walmart. Now, I don't know how much they cost. I didn't even look it up. But they're not real expensive, I don't think, at Walmart. And I got to looking at these, and this is not a bad deal, especially for someone who's wanting to learn how to do paracord work. You can go down to Walmart. You can buy you one of these little kits. There's enough cord in here to make 6 bracelets. And they also provide the clasp on them, so you've got everything you need in here to make 6 bracelets. Now, I'm going to tell you, they've pre-cut the cord and everything, and it's only going to make about a 7.5, maybe an 8-inch bracelet at the most. So if you're a big guy like me, probably not going to make a bracelet big enough for you, but I make plenty of bracelets for other people, so I'll be making these up. And matter of fact, we're going to make one up here in just a few minutes so you can take a look at it. And I'm going to go into a little more detail on the knot that I did. But another good thing about this particular kit is it comes with an instruction sheet. And this instruction sheet tells you step by step how to do the Cobra knot and how to make the Cobra knot bracelet. And so I read through these instructions, and these are pretty good instructions. Now, I learned from watching other people in instructional videos on YouTube, and some of those people have been a big help to me over the years. But anyway, this is a good set of instructions for somebody just beginning in the hobby. And so if you're interested in making paracord bracelets, you can get this kit and learn how to do it right here on this sheet. Pretty good step-by-step instructions. And as a bonus, you've got 6 bracelets. On the back side, they got to teach you a different pattern to use. And we'll do one with this pattern later on. But today we're going to do the Cobra knot bracelet. And it's going to be about a 7.5 or so inch bracelet with the buckle on it. And anyway, I got one set up in here, and we're going to go in here and make the bracelet. And then we'll come back out. We'll have us a little tea here in the evening, and we'll do a little wrap up. Okay guys, we're back for our paracord deal here. I opened one of the paracord kits, and I chose the green cord. It's already cut to length, so you don't have to worry about measuring out your cord and cutting it. And it comes with buckles. There's a bag of buckles in there. Enough stuff in here to make 6 bracelets. According to the instructions, which I have here, should make 6. They say 7-inch bracelet, so we're going to make a 7-inch bracelet. If you're a bigger person like me, you're going to need a little bit longer bracelet. Mine usually runs 9.5 to 10 inches, depending on the design I'm making. It's a lot of times important to measure the person that you're going to be fixing the bracelet for to figure out exactly how big it needs to be. But we're going to do the paracord run 7 inches, and so with this buckle, that's going to add about a 1/4 of an inch, because even when you take it apart, it's going to look like more, but when you put it together, these two go together and marry together, so it's only going to be about another 1/4 maybe a big 1/4 of an inch that we're going to have there, okay? So we're going to set the kit off to the side. Now, our tools, we've got our scissors to cut the ends, our lighter to singe the ends, and my forceps to help get through at the end where we can get everything good and tight and get it all pulled up. So we'll be using those when we need them later in the project. All right, the instruction sheet here, I'll give you a brief look at it here. It gives you the full instructions for tying the Cobra knot on this side. It just gives you the instructions for one knot, and it's the same for preceding knots as you go through. And we're going to do several knots. Like I said, I had a request to show a little more detail on how that knot's done, so we're going to try to do that today. And then, like I said, on the back, also we have the directions for a different knot, and we'll do that in a different video, so you can see the different knot. And again, like I said, this kit comes with the instructions, so if you're new to this, it's a good way to get started with the instructions right there for you. All right, so let's take our cord. We'll remove our band there. All right, and we want to, I always like to pull the cord through my fingers to be sure that all the rolls and twists get out of it and that we kind of get it straightened out. Any way that it's spooled up, it's gonna have a little bit of that in it, a little bit of those twists and turns in it. But we pull it through our fingers a couple of times and get those out. That'll help us keep it straight whenever we get to going. Easiest way to do this is to take the two cut ends, hold those together and pull through, and that gets you to the middle of the cord, okay? And we're gonna take this middle of the cord and we're gonna stick it up through the bottom. Then we're gonna reach through the loop that comes up through there, and we're gonna pull this. Oh, got my ruler, yeah. Also got my ruler here. And I did it backwards. Always seems like I do it backwards at least once whenever I start these projects, so I don't know why I can't get it the right way first. So go through the top into the bottom, then you get your loop and pull your two cords through. That gives you your cow hitch finish here on the end. Okay? Now, we're gonna unhook our buckle, and this buckle is curved. It's curved to fit with the contour of the bracelet. So you wanna be sure on the other end that you're putting it on with the same contour, the same curve that you did on the other one. So we're gonna come down here, and again, we're gonna go through the top of this one. The top of this side. Sorry, it all kind of run away on me. And then we're gonna pull it back through. And now it's a good time to check and be sure that you've got your bracelet running the right direction. And see, I'm actually backwards. I've got the bottom side of this buckle and on the wrong side here. So I'm gonna roll these around and get it so that whenever this is said and done, these two will click together. Okay, that's important when you're doing a bracelet, especially with a contoured bracelet, a flat or a contoured clasp. They do make a flat clasp, not as big of a deal because they will go in the other way. This one will not work right, and it will cause a problem. So now I'm going to take this, and I've got my handy dandy ruler here, and I'm going to find 7 inches of paracord. And I'm measuring from the bottom of this loop, right here I've got it at 20, to the end of this buckle, to the inside of this buckle at 27. So that's going to be 7 inches, and then it's probably going to be 7 1/4, or a little bit more with the buckle, but that gives us 7 inches of Cobra weave to do. Okay, so now we're going to take it, turn it back over, try to hold and maintain that length as best we can, and the cords go one to each side. Okay, the cord on the right comes over the top of the 2 cords and under the one on the other side. So you create a loop over here and you go over this one. And that's going to be hard to, you really need a third hand to do this. They make a jig that you can do these bracelets in. I have one, it's a big jig for making things, and it's not real convenient for the filming, but I will probably be getting a smaller jig to do some of these with. It does make it a little more convenient. Okay, so getting started is always the hardest part of this Cobra weave. So once you get this one over the 2 base strands and under this strand to the left, then you're going to take the strand on the left and you're going to go under everything, under this one and under the 2 base strands, and bring it out on the other side through this loop. And you're going to pull it up to where you get something that looks kind of like this. And this is the base for your knot. And then we're going to tighten this up to the buckle. And basically, this is an overhand knot, and it's been called the square knot, the overhand knot, several different things. But anyway, this just tightens up onto that buckle, and then you're going to do exactly the same thing, but you're going to start on the opposite side. You're going to take the left-hand side. You're going to come over the base strand and under the strand to the right. And then the strand to the right goes under everything and out the loop. Okay? And then you're going to tighten this knot down. Now, you will see, and we can see right away here, this Cobra weave pattern. You've got 2 going into one loop and 2 coming out of one loop. And you'll be able to see it more pronounced the further down we go. But now that we've got this tightened up and kind of got our buckle set on this side, you want to again check your length. So we'll go to our 20 and our 27 here. And we'll see that we're still right at 7 inches, so we don't have to make any adjustment. This is a good time to make your adjustment when you've got that first full knot done, because the further down you go, the more you have to take out, or the more you have to loosen up and adjust and wiggle to get that done. It's easy to make the adjustment right here. You're a knot and a half in, so you want to take care of that now. Okay, so now then I want to keep going. Okay, I ended with my first strand over here, so we're going to go over the 2 in the middle and under the one on the left. Okay, and the one on the left is going to go under everything, all 3 of these, and come out the loop. And again, every time you can see this pattern as it develops. And this pattern is going to continue all the way down the bracelet. And now we had 2 in here. Now we got 2 in on this side, and you'll be able to see it the more we go down. And remember, in my first video, my first Paracord video, where we talked about where we did the mask holder, I told you the most important thing with your Cobra knot and with any Paracord knot is not make not too tight, not too loose, but to be consistent. You want your knots to be consistent, so be sure you pull everything with a consistent pull. That was the one thing whenever I got started that I had to learn the most about was the consistent pull. So again, now we're starting from the left side, over, under this cord, and then this cord goes under everything and comes back out the top side. For some of you that are familiar, back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s, very popular things were the macrame pot hangers, macrame wall hangers and stuff that a lot of the ladies did. A lot of these knots are exactly the same knots that they used for those macrame things that they made. This Cobra knot was one of the basis for a lot of those things. So now, if you ever get lost, now that we've got a few in here, if you ever get lost, you always want to come out from the under cord. See where the under cord is here? So that's gonna be our starter. That's the one that goes over and under. Okay? And then when that goes over and under, this one comes under everything and out this side to make our knot. And now, when we get that one done, you can again see that this is your coming out knot, the knot coming out of the loop. This one's coming out the top, this is coming out the side. So you always want to start with the one coming out of the side. And again, it's over the top, under the loose one on the other side, and then this one goes under everything and comes back out on this side. Once you get the feel for it, once you get the rhythm going, this knot will just roll right off your hands, and you'll be able to just when I get a bracelet going, now I always have trouble with start, and I had trouble with this start because I didn't get my stuff in right. But that first knot, once I get that first knot going and I get that pattern going, I get about two turns in, I can almost do this in my sleep because it's just a routine deal. You get your hands going in that direction, everything works. It's over, under, and then this one goes under everything and out the loop. And then we pull everything tight. And again, you want to be consistent. You want to be sure your knots are looking consistent. I like to, every once in a while, about every 4 or 5 knots, I like to stop and push because I like my bracelets to be fairly tight. And by pushing, my knots stay consistent and they stay up tight. And it keeps my bracelet good and tight all the way down, and I get maximum paracord down to the end so that I can make it work good. So let's do a couple more. Let's come from this side because this is the one coming out the side. This one's coming out the top. Go over and under. And then this one goes under everything. And out the other side. And once you get going, and once you get a good basis, you get like this one, you get 4 or 5 knots down. If you mess one up, it becomes glaringly obvious. And you always want to be looking at your knots and say, okay, let's see, there's 2 in there, there's 2 there, 2 in 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 there. So it's rolling along like it should. So I haven't messed it up. Especially if you're just starting. You'll get going, and as you get comfortable with that routine and that type and that thing, you're going to say, oh, this is not too hard. I can do this. And you're going to get it going and get it going and get it going. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to go the wrong way one time and you're going to have a messed up knot. Now, if you catch it soon, just like adjusting the end. If you catch it soon, you can take it out and fix it. If you don't, then you've got to go, you got to take everything out all the way back to it and then start again. But just remember to start with the one that's coming out the side, not out the top. And it comes over and under. And then the one on the other side goes under everything and out this side. Okay. Now, we're several knots in. We're going to once again check our length and see where we are. And we're still right at 7 inches, as you can see, from the end of the buckle to the end of the buckle, inside of the buckle to the inside of the buckle. So that's exactly where we want to be. So now I'm going to work this on down, and as I get down to the end, I'm going to stop and come back, and we'll show you a few more knots at the end, and then we'll show you how we finish it up at the end. I've learned a new trick actually for finishing the bracelet out at the end that I'm going to try today. So we'll show you that little secret too. Okay, I'm back. Now, as you can see, I've completed this on down through here, and you know, just like I said, I like to make it tight. I like to make it kind of uniform looking, very good, very smooth. You can look down it and see that all the knots are the same. Now I want to tell you something. I do this good, you know, I do this good now, and everybody talks about how good I do on these bracelets and these things and that thing. I've made a lot of these. Made probably a couple of hundred anyway of different bracelets, or taught people how to make these bracelets and stuff over the years. And when I started out, it takes some trial and error. You have to learn how to do it and how to be consistent with your knots, how to tighten everything up and make it look good. I can show you some of the first bracelets I made, some of the early bracelets I made, and you can definitely see that they are not nearly as nice as these that I'm doing now. You know, this is just a Walmart kit with some cord and you know, and a buckle. It's a great way to get started. You have 6 opportunities to make bracelets and 2 patterns. So make 3 in one pattern and 3 in another pattern, and practice and play with the colors. You know, get the idea of what they need to look like and how you want them to be tight. Now we're going to check one more time here on our measurement, and we are still running right at 7 inches from inside the buckle on each side. So it's not gotten short on us or anything else. We've maintained everything. Our cords are still straight and even coming out here. So we're going to finish up these last few knots and then do the finish up here for y'all. Okay, again, our cord coming out the side is the one that goes over, under, and up. Just so we don't forget that pattern. Over, under, and up. And now the cords are a lot shorter, so it's a lot easier to show you the knot patterns as we move here, because we don't have all the cords running off the table and everything out here. So now we're going to go over, under, and up. And now here's where you got to start being careful, because you're right at this buckle, and you want to be sure that you don't loop around the buckle and miss it. Okay, so now I'm going to do one more tightening here, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to tighten it up, pull it one more time, just to, again, this is my consistency thing I'm working on here, to make everything look as uniform as I can, to make that bracelet look as nice and clean as I can when I get done. So I've got room for about one more on here. So I'm going to go over, under, and then this one goes around. And then we're going to put this knot in there, and I'm going to look right here. Now, a lot of people might stop right there, but you see if you got that little neck. That little neck is going to be a problem. So I'm going to put one more knot in there. If I come up on this cow's hitch, the original cow's hitch I put on here a little bit with my last knot, I'm not too worried about that, because I'd rather do that than to leave this little bit right here at the end. So I'm going to go over one more under everything and put one more knot right there. Okay, so now I've got this snugged up good and tight to the cow's hitch. I'm gonna lay it out here so you can see. I've got it snugged up good and tight to the cow's hitch, so there's not that little loose play down there. So it's going to be a good solid bracelet all the way down. And the buckle should come around and clip just fine and make a good solid roundness there. All right, so now we're ready to finish the ends off. Now, this is something I just learned the other day, and I'm going to tell you, I learned to do this on YouTube. I learned to do all this on YouTube. I decided I wanted to do paracord, and so I started watching the paracord videos and learning how to do this. And one of the things that I just learned the other day was to take this cord and you're going to bring it around here. This is where you're going to need your forceps, okay? And go under this last one right here, which is basically the one that you're fixing to pull under there. But you want to make you a spot there, get under there. Now you're taking this one that's coming out, and this is the one that comes out the top, not the one that comes out the side. And you're going to get a hold of the end of it and pull it back through under here. Now, you're going to want to tighten that up good and tight. Okay. And what that does is it makes this extra little loop right here, but it just kind of goes along with the bracelet. And what it does is it puts both of your ends on the bottom of the bracelet. With this particular bracelet, you have a definite bottom because of the curvature of the clasp. So you can put both of your ends down here, and that leaves you clean on the top. Used to, I would cut that off right here on the top and burn the end of it off, and I'd have a little white spot right here. Or I'd have a little a burn spot right there where I burned the end of that cord off. This way, you can pull them both underneath. It doesn't add anything right here. You pull that all good and tight, and then you're going to snip both of these together, and then they're both going to melt together right here at this spot in the end. So now we get our scissors, and we cut them both off. Then we take our lighter, and we melt the ends and tap them down into the bracelet. Now, that lime green with a little bit of white cord inside, it just kind of all melted together there, and you can't even hardly see it even on the bottom side. But anyway, it's got those sealed off. You don't have the bump or anything on the top, and it's all got done there now. Our length is still from inside the bracelet to inside the bracelet is right at 7 inches. Our total bracelet length, when you take into consideration from here to here, is going to be just over 8 inches. So we add a little more with that click, and there's our bracelet. We'll go back out on the porch and do a wrap up in a few minutes. Boy, that tea's good. Thanks to the NWA Prepper for this nice cup. Catch him on YouTube too. Just put his name in the search bar up there, NWA Prepper, if you're interested. He's got some pretty good information out there for you, and he's a good friend of mine. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the Paracord bracelet today, and I hope you learned a little something. Paracord's not hard. It just takes a little time to get started, and you're going to mess up to start with. I did when I started. It takes a little practice. Like I said, I've made a lot of paracord bracelets and a lot of other paracord projects. So I've kind of done this for a while, and I still learn things every day. You saw my finish up there. I learned that just the other day from one of the YouTube channels I watch on paracord. And there ain't nothing out there you can't Google or search for on YouTube that you can't find out how to do. So don't be intimidated. Just because it don't come out right the first time doesn't mean you don't know how to do it. Just means you need to practice a little bit. So anyway, I appreciate you joining me today, and as always, I appreciate you meeting me here on the porch. Y'all have a good day. See you Thursday.